The private detective that Courtney called on April the 3rd was Tom Grant. Courtney found his name in the Yellow Pages. Tom Grant is an ex-LA County Sheriff of 8 years standing. We went with him to the cheaper Ramada Inn around the corner. Tom Grant is convinced that Kurt was murdered. However, much of his evidence could not be substantiated, and under British libel laws, I was forced to remove them from this cut of the film. Tom Grant also asserts that Kurt and Courtney were having problems with their relationship when he died, and were talking about divorce.
Came and everything came to a head. It had to happen.
Did he plan to leave the house?
Yeah, he was going to leave Seattle.
Tom Grant searched for Kurt at their Lake Washington house in Seattle on April the 7th at 2:45 a.m. and 9:45 p.m., but failed to find Kurt's body, which was in the greenhouse above the garage.
Other than the fact that they were always fighting, they didn't get along. Courtney had bought a Lexus apparently, and Kurt was really angry about that. He didn't want to be seen in a big fancy car. He finally forced Courtney to take it back. It was embarrassing to him. You know, they were constantly fighting over things like that, which goes back to what Dylan was saying about them being totally opposites. You know, Courtney wanted the mansion. Kurt was embarrassed about the mansion. Courtney wanted a big fancy car. Kurt was embarrassed about the big fancy car. So they were in constant turmoil over these things. They had different priorities in life.
And so it was a lot of sort of money issues and that kind of thing.
Sure, yeah.
Between them.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically think that the motive, obviously, in his possible murder was money too?
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious, and it's a motive that's as old as time. And this was a great deal of money. Kurt was worth millions of dollars. If there's a divorce in the works, Courtney's going to get half of everything at best. If he ends up committing suicide, Courtney ends up with everything. And you know, she only knew him for a little over 2 years at the time. So here's a woman that came into this man's life and in less than a 3-year period owned everything that he had accumulated through his own talents.